I'm John Erickson in Ashwaubenon in front of Cafe Con Crema, a breakfast and brunch restaurant. We're talking about the idea of no more taxes on servers' tips. I asked a server inside what that would mean for her. When more and more people come through the door at Cafe Con Crema,
Hello, morning.
it's a chance for server Adriana Hernandez to earn more.
It's great for all of us. Brings more cash home.
And it's possible that she could keep more of what she earns. Here's why. In the race for the White House, both former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris support the idea of no federal income tax on tips. Right now, Adriana and every other server's tips are taxed just like any other earned income. I asked her about the idea of getting rid of that tax for tips.
I would say it's a good idea. I mean, more money, obviously. It's less taken from us.
But she added that some people might think it's unfair if tips are not taxed.
It's a bit difficult for other people, I would say.
A Harris campaign official said Social Security and Medicare tax would still be paid on tips. Trump recently suggested he's thinking about getting rid of those taxes on tips too, in addition to scrapping the federal income tax on tips. All of it would need the approval of Congress.
French vanilla iced coffee? Okay.
We asked one of the owners at Cafe Con Crema about the idea.
We always want our servers to do well, and if that brings more money for them, I think it's a good idea.
And yes, there is also Wisconsin state income taxes on tips earned by servers. Ashwaubenon, John Erickson, NBC 26.
All right. We can stop that right there. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. And I'm back with another video. It's been a minute. Hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. Yeah, man. So, and as the title said, blue states decline no tax on tips and overtime at the state level. Which is very unfortunate because that was one of Trump's main campaign promises. And as you can see, even Kamala Harris during the campaign adopted the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime policy. And for some reason, governors of blue states are opting out of that. So what that means is, although you're going to get, for people that are service workers, waitresses, waiters, people that work a lot of overtime, you won't be able, you'll be able to get a bigger refund because up to 12,500 of those taxes and tips, you can, if you're filing solo as an individual, that won't be taxed. So that means a bigger refund for your tax season return. And if you are filing as a married couple, y'all can get up to $25,000 that will not be taxed. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime. And certain states are saying, although Trump is going to do that on the federal level, they're saying that on the state level, they're not going to be able to afford to do that. Interesting. But before we get off into the commentary, and as always, it's a couple things that I must do. And first and foremost is this. We got to go ahead and read the disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right. And we got that out the way. And another thing that I'm very excited to announce is that we here at Voices for the Voiceless have launched our official online clothing apparel called Voices Apparel. And I have the link going across the screen, as you can see. Welcome to Voices for the Voiceless. Peace and blessings, everybody. Visit our online clothing store, Voices Apparel, here to support the channel. and points over to the link that you can go to. And I do have the link available to show you how to navigate that. We got shirts, we got sweaters for men and women, different colors, and we got, man, coffee mugs, bags. I mean, you name it. We're still adding to it, but yeah, this is the link here, right? So when you get to this screen, what you want to do is scroll down over here where you see stores. Click on stores. All right. Take a little second to load up. But man, you know, I would greatly appreciate it if y'all support the channel. You could take a piece of Voices for the Voiceless with you, you know. So when this screen comes up, you go right here to View Store, and it brings you right to all of the items that we have available. Like I said, it's still growing. You know, we're still gonna add more items, but we just launched it right before the new year. You know what I'm saying? Let me make this a little bigger. Okay. View Store. Okay, yeah, so View Store. So right here, you see we got the coffee mugs. Coffee mugs. See, if you tap on it, it'll show you the back. This one got white, this one got black. We got caps, you know, shirts, right? So yeah, let's say if you wanted to buy this shirt right here, you just click on it. Bam. They got the sizes right here: small, medium, large, extra large, 2X, 3X, extra small, right? So click on it. Bam. You can add to cart however you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's just scroll through here. Look at this blue one, right? So we got the logo. We got a sticker right here. Hoodies, crew neck sweaters. Like I just ordered this white sweater right here, so soon I'll be able to show the, you know, the proof, you know, when it arrives. But yeah, man, you know, we got up to 4 pages of material. We got a hat right here. This has one of my album covers on it, the No Pressure joint. You know, got this bag. No, it's some dope material on here. You feel me? Now there's one sweater that I'm definitely gotta get. See this gray shirt, this gray sweater. Go down here. This orange though. This one came out dope, I have to say. And this probably be the next one I get. You can see the back of it. You know, the logo works really well with orange. I want the shirt and the sweater. But yeah, man, make sure you visit it to go see, you know, support the channel. We would greatly appreciate it. You know, Voices Apparel, and right before the end of the year. But anyway, let's get off into the commentary here. Once again, the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime on the state level. And it's really interesting because it's certain states that are fully in tune with what Trump is doing, and that's going to help people get a larger income. You know, people complain about affordability and, you know, how high things are. Trump is trying to come up with creative ways. And this is something that directly affects you. And it's easy to show, you know, the hypocrisy in people complaining about affordability, but when presented an opportunity to help the citizens and the taxpayers have more money in their pocket, they reject it. So, you know, that's crazy. And the only thing I could think of is that they don't want people to feel any relief financially. They want people to feel like they're struggling just to make Trump look bad. A lot of these Democratic governors like Governor Pritzker, Governor Newsom in California, Governor Holcomb in New York, all these sanctuary cities and states, that are, opting out of this tax break for working class people. They say Trump is against the working class, but I can't tell. But yeah, man, so let's get off into some of these states that are opting out of this no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. All right. I think this guy broke it down pretty well. This is crazy though, man, because this is something that's interesting. All the stuff that's going on, this directly affects us,
Some states in America are not allowing Donald Trump's no tax on tips or overtime to be available to their citizens. So you probably remember earlier in the year when Donald Trump passed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, in which it had no tax on tips and no tax on overtime at the federal tax level. And although at the federal level, you won't be taxed on your overtime or your tips, a lot of states run by governors like these right here are still going to be taxing your overtime and tips on the state tax level. Only 8 states in America are on track to allow their residents to be fully free from taxes on overtime and tips starting next year. However, places like New York, Illinois, California have declined to extend the state level tax breaks, citing that they would be losing billions in dollars of potential budgeting. Now, the states that are automatically taking in the federal tax is South Carolina, Iowa, North Dakota, Idaho, Montana, and Oregon.
Now, that's interesting. These particular states that have fully, signed on, South Carolina, Iowa, North Dakota, Idaho, Montana, and Oregon. They letting their people get, so this is why it's very important to understand state, federal, and local government. State and local seems to be more important than federal, because they can, Trump's trying to give you some money and your governor trying to take it away from you. You know what I'm saying? So it really matters what state you live in.
So if you don't live in one of those states I just mentioned, you will still be taxed on your overtime and tips at the state level unless your governor approves this law starting on January 1st.
Wow.
Some states in America are not allowing Donald Trump.
Wow. Now, see, as you can see, man, that right there, that's not fair, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, how just because you live in a certain state, you won't feel the benefits of the tax cut. And they scream up and down that, oh, he doing tax cuts for the rich and all this and that. But when you really look at the policies, he trying to get a working class a break. You know what I'm saying? And the hypocrisy is just uncanny. But nobody want to talk about it. It's right there in your face, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I want to share this this other video of this content creator and do a reaction because I thought he did a very great job of breaking it down. And this content creator is LV Nation. So shout out to LV Nation. And we're gonna get off into this reaction.
Tax breaks, citing that they would be losing billions in dollars of potential budgeting.
Imagine you've been a Democrat voter your entire life in a blue state like New York, and you realize that your governor, who is a Democrat, hasn't served up Trump's no tax on tips policy. So you are working for tips, and you hear about Trump basically giving you there's no taxes on these tips. You don't got to pay taxes. Guess what? Hochul is refusing to follow Trump's lead. New York still paying taxes on tips and overtime. What the hell is going on? And now voters are extremely pissed off and mad about this. This is just absolutely insane. Take a listen.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words,
New Yorkers just keep on getting screwed. This time it's not by the man dummy, it's by Kathy Hochul. New York has 318,000 people who work off of tips. That's your servers, bartenders, delivery drivers. Trump just made $25,000 worth of tips tax-free on your federal return. So you're going to get that money back. But New York, Kathy Hochul and Albany said no. Your tips are fully taxed by the state. That's hundreds, even thousands of dollars every year that they're not going to give back to you. But you got to wonder why. See, New York spends billions on undocumented immigrants and they're running a deficit. Nearly 700,000 live there. 25,000 are on full state Medicare, up to 480,000 on emergency Medicaid. They're in shelters, healthcare, free K through 12 education. That's $2 to $4 billion a year. So New York can fund that, but they won't give tip workers relief on their own earnings. You work doubles, weekends, and holidays. Why aren't you the priority?
Why aren't you the priority? And it's beginning to happen. Everybody knows what happened in Minnesota. There's a lot of people making these videos. And unfortunately, I looked at the polls that are coming out allegedly. 75% say on these polls that Democrats are most likely going to win the midterms. But how can people look around and say, yo, we're not even the priority? Like, they're scamming all over Minnesota, billions of dollars gone missing in California.
It really is a slap in the face, man, because, you know, you see all this fraud that they talking about in some with the Somalians in Minnesota. They stealing billions of dollars in tax dollars, but they won't even give you, the working man, a tax cut, you know, on the state level. But Trump trying to clean up, he's the one trying to stop the fraud and expose it. But the Democrats in the leadership in Minnesota is trying to cover it up and still tell their constituents that we're not going to give you any type of leniency as it pertains to no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. The very people that they claim that they are, you know, fighting for. It is. I'm telling you, it is ironic. It is hypocritical, and it just exposes the corruption and how, you know, how much they have been finessing the people to believe that they are actually for the working class. It's crazy.
Now you're not giving us the no tax on tip. I know we didn't vote for Trump. I'm pretty sure that's what Democrats are saying. Like, well, I know we didn't vote for Trump, but come on, make this a law. Like, pass this. What's going on? Why are you approving this? Why are you a governor denying this? People are looking forward to this, even if they didn't vote for Trump. But that's what you get for being a Democrat in 2025, aka 26. And breaking news: Democrat governors, right? California, Illinois, Colorado, and New York, right? You have even more states that are literally refusing to implement President Trump's no tax on tip, with furious residents of New York now blaming Kathy Hochul for deliberately using the livelihoods of service workers to stick it to Trump. What in the world is going on? Well, here is someone who works in the industry and works for tips and probably voted Democrat, pissed off.
It's disgraceful. People live off of tips. So for her to do that is just, it's disheartening. It's upsetting. I'm Zoe. I work at the Embassy Diner for 2 years. It's very disappointing. I was looking forward to that when the president was running. So.
Man, I hate that this is buffering right quick, but let me take that down and try to come back to that later. You know, but it's just ironic that, you know, we got this going on in Minnesota, right? Like he said, and I didn't really want to cover that right quick, you know, lately, because so many people have been talking about it. But I do want to bring up a article here to like really dive into those you know, states that are opting out of this. Let me get that article up here instead, and we'll try to double back, and this is the New York Post. You know what I'm saying, for reference. Now, yeah, let me make that bigger here, and now we can kind of read this article. Washington. Just 8 states are on track to allow their residents to cash in fully on popular tax cuts from President Trump's marquee legislation in 2026, experts told the Post, with several blue states unwilling to give workers an additional break. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act exempted federal taxes on tipped wages and overtime pay, but hardworking residents will still have to pay taxes on that income. Crazy. Unless local elected leaders step up, Democratic strongholds like New York, Illinois, and California have so far declined to extend state-level tax breaks, citing billions of dollars in potential budget shortfalls. Interesting. Other blue and red states alike have yet to signal whether they will take up legislation in the new year to conform to the federal tax code by changing the definition of what qualifies as taxable income. Wow, so you got some red states that ain't signed on fully either. So, you know, there you have it. It's a lot of corruption on both sides, blue and red, but so far, the blue states have indefinitely rejected it. A lot of majority of the blue states. States like New Jersey are open to some of the provisions, like not tax tipped workers, right? So you got people some states are in favor of no tax for overtime. Some are in favor of no tax on tips. Some are in favor of both. Some are in favor of neither. But yeah, man. We got Scott Bessent right here. I want to see if this plays on Fox News.
Deduction on Social Security, going on to say to Fox News Digital, Colorado and Illinois are Grinches, and due to their Scrooge-like tendencies, residents won't benefit from no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Colorado and Illinois are Grinches, and due to their Scrooge-like tendencies, residents won't benefit from no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and a new deduction on Social Security. Going on to say to Fox News Digital, these governors are forcing Americans to shoulder higher state tax burdens, exacerbating the financial squeeze on low-income households. Now, this is a real problem, Tiffany, because we are dealing with an issue of affordability. The president's acknowledged it. It might be a hangover from Joe Biden, but it's a reality for a lot of people. We talk about blue states and how polarized we are and how much more that polarization is becoming distinct. But I also say we all have choices. I complain about New York City all the time. I don't have to live here.
I know.
I choose to live here. I love my job, but I could move to a red state and find something else to do if I really wanted to do that, yet I don't. So we all...
And I'm gonna pause that right there because that's basically the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we different states really show different opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring me back up here. Different states had different opportunities. But when you got governors that are going out their way to say we can't give you a tax cut for the working class, for the people that do, see, it doesn't really affect me in my profession one way or the other. I don't get tips. I don't really get considered overtime. But it's just a blessing to see other people that could benefit from that. You know, I'm all for it, you know, but it doesn't affect me one way or the other. But I think that it's a step in the right direction for society. Especially, man, we've been going through it the last 4 years. Any type of relief we can get for the taxpayers, I'm for it, man. So let me see if I can get this this video here to play, because you know you hear it from a lady herself how this affects her.
Livelihood. of service workers to stick it to Trump. What in the world is going on? Well, here is someone who works in the industry and works for tips and probably voted Democrat, pissed off.
It's disgraceful. People live off of tips. So for her to do that is just, it's disheartening. It's upsetting. I'm Zoe. I work at the Embassy Diner for 2 years. It's very disappointing. I was looking forward to that when the president was running, so it's a little disappointing. It's all my livelihood. Really, we live off of tips, so getting taxed on them and losing money is definitely a big hit, and it makes living a little bit more difficult. And now knowing that it can't happen in New York is a little frustrating. Frustrated. It's like losing money, so it's hard, especially when everything's so expensive in life right now. And you know, that's my livelihood. That's how I eat. That's how I feed myself and my family. So maybe a couple hundred, close, you know, like 1,000 possibly, depending on the hours put in. Also, my mother's been a waitress for 30 something years, and she took care of 5 kids waitressing. So now knowing, you know, if we were to go back and we were younger again, and she was leaving the taxes on tips, it would have really affected mine and my siblings' lives growing up. So it's very upsetting. We've been in the restaurant business our whole life, so this is just what we know as diners. My father owned diners, my mom's parents own diners. It's just, this is our family's business.
Wow. So again, ladies and gentlemen, voters, people have to realize that they've been getting played for a very long time.
Exactly. And you heard it from this lady that their whole family have been in the service industry, and you know, it matters how you vote, you know. So midterms are around the corner. It seems like to me, you know, the Trump administration, and for the most part, Republicans are in favor of putting more money in American workers' pockets, opposed to covering up corruption with people that come from other places that steal tax dollars. You know, it's just amazing to me that more people are not outraged by that. You know, when you pay and you get all this money taken out of your check, you complain about that and where money is going here and there, but people is right in your state or the next state over stealing billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Trump is trying to, you know, put an end and stop to that and put more money in your pocket. And actually, essentially, you know, he wants to get away from the income tax system anyway. Why are we taxing our own citizens like this? It doesn't make any sense.
This is why you saw a lot of people jump ship. This is why you see a lot of people who did not like Trump, probably still don't like Trump, said, you know what? Our lives need to come first. We've been in America for generations, been in the United States of America for generations after generations after generations. We don't want to suffer. We want to figure this out. And so if this is a step in that direction, why are you trying to stop that from happening? Why are you stopping that from happening? Well, here is this construction worker that I really want to play. He's going viral. Speaking of no tax on overtime, no tax on tips. Take a listen.
So you know that no tax on overtime and tips that you're looking forward to getting at the end of the year? Well, there's several states that's not going to allow you to deduct those taxes on your overtime and tips. Colorado, New York, Illinois, Maine, all these sanctuary states, they're not going to allow you to deduct taxes on your overtime.
All these sanctuary states, keep that in mind. Sanctuary states that found hundreds of millions to billions of dollars for undocumented immigrants, but they can't support you having having more return on your tax return this year. Trump gonna give it to you on the federal level, and they gonna take it away from you on the state level. But they found all this money, the same local and state government officials that didn't have the money for the schools in the community. They found all this money for undocumented immigrants, you know, but they are against you having no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. Fascinating.
Time and tips. And furthermore, even if you're not from that state, but you're working in that state, you're going to have to pay taxes on your overtime and tips on that state income. Yeah, they're claiming that the federal government has no business trying to control their tax revenue. So they're saying that they're not going to conform to that no tax on overtime tips. They're saying that they can't afford to lose the revenue because they have too many people to take care of. Just giving y'all an update.
I've been using.
All right, we can stop that right there, man. I mean, I think it's self-evident, man. Shout out to the content creator once again, LV Nation. Like I said, he has some great commentary in those clips that I wanted to share. And the reason for the government not trying to, these states trying not to go with the Trump administration on this is baffling. They saying they don't have the money, but surely they can afford that, But in any event, yeah, midterms around the corner. We got to push out this information as far as affordability, because we can't afford to lose the midterms, and then these people that go against you having more money in your pocket get back in power. They get the House, they get the Senate, and then now Trump is having even more of a harder time to get his agenda passed. But yeah, man, what say you? It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. Once again, at the bottom of the screen, make sure you go to our online clothing store, Voices Apparel. It is live now. You can place an order and get a wide range of merchandise to support the channel, and it's dope. Man. You know what I'm saying? Got the link right there. And also, if you go to our community chat, you can see yesterday, I posted it there, so you can click the link from our community chat. Once again, it's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. We love y'all, and until next time, we should see you soon. Peace and blessings.